Hi there and welcome back, my friends, to Kingdom Come Deliverance. We're on a hare hunt. Well, we're hunting for poachers. And it has been said we should ask around in the village. And everywhere. And also in our old inn in the glade, of course. We're tasked to find the poachers. And where they are, we'll see if we can do that. I mean, ordinary poachers we wouldn't try to find, but these seem to be organized and very aggressive, if you say so. First in the inn, of course.
Good health to you, Henry.
Has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes? No? We should wash, right?
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know anything about it, but if I were you, I'd speak to Martha, the innkeeper's wife. She knows all the goings on around here. You can find her at the tavern. Hey, Martha. About the poachers.
I heard you've got a poaching problem in the woods around here.
In the woods and out of them. Not long back the bastards hung a deer's head on the huntsman's house.
My goodness.
That's pretty brazen of them.
Certainly is. Word around the village is that someone wants to shame him till he squirms.
Got some local. I've done
Do you
that
think it
then.
was someone local?
I really don't know. All sorts of things get said. Hare's back, if you listen to some, and others are going on about Tom of the Baths. They swear blind he's got his fingers in it.
And what about you?
It could be anyone. There's more than one that has it in for Nicholas. And who knows what the neighbors get up to by night.
What's so suspicious about this Thomas?
Just that he was drunk and blabbering about how he was going to bring back venison from the woods.
It also sounds risky to me somehow.
Putting a deer's head on the huntsman's house sounds pretty risky. Why would anyone do that?
Maybe they want to show that Huntsman Nicholas is no match for them. And they're not wrong. He isn't the man he should be.
Ah, and why is that? Why is that? Oh, okay. We cannot ask. We cannot ask why. What can you tell me about that Hanneken
Tell me
Hare?
something about Hanneken Hare.
He used to be Master Huntsman here a while back. But then Nicholas got him accused of a murder, and the Hare had to flee. It cost him the huntsman's rank and Margaret, too.
That's the wife?
What happened between Hare and Nicholas anyway?
Those two didn't get on from the start. And then that business with Margaret really set them at each other's throats. But it all came to a head about 15 years back when Sir Henry...
Wow, long way.
Visit.
Sir Hanish's father?
We were 5 then.
Just so.
Or
There was a
something.
banquet at the castle in his honor, and in the morning they found one of Sir Henry's men-at-arms in the ditch with his neck broken. Well, Nicholas made sure the blame fell on Hanneken Hare.
Ooh, one more.
And what happened to Hare?
That's just it. No one rightly knows. They put him in the dungeon, but when Sir Henry's men came for him the next morning, he was gone. No one knows what became of him.
Interesting. What did
So how
Nicholas
did
say?
Put the blame on Hare.
Nicholas always had a viper's tongue, and events made it easy for him. That evening there'd been a right falling out between Hare and the guardsman. Blows were struck. Well, Sir Divish didn't want any ill will with Sir Henry, so he tried to settle things as quick as he could, and Hare got the short straw.
And what about Margaret? Did she even want the Hare?
What was going on with Margaret?
Her father promised her to Hanneken,
Ah,
because they seemed a good match. But Nicholas couldn't stomach that, so he did what he did.
So we have to ask Margaret. I want to ask about something else.
I want to ask about something else.
What do you know about the Hare?
Tell me something about Hannekin Hare.
He used to be Master Huntsman here a while back. But then Nicholas got him accused of a
Okay,
murder,
we know that already.
and the Hare had to flee. It cost him the huntsman's rank and Margaret, too.
I
And
want to ask about something else.
but Thomas of the Baths.
So why do people think Tom of the Baths is involved?
Ah, that's just nonsense. He was bragging in the tavern that he'd put on a venison feast for the village girls. Deer for the deers. I doubt it. He's all mouth and no trousers. But if you want to know more, ask my husband, the innkeeper. I wasn't here that evening.
Yeah, we'll do that first as we're here already.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Take care.
Let's ask him. Hey, Mr. Innkeeper Man.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
About that Thomas.
I've heard Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in here.
So he did. He and Jack Piper were bragging about how they'd make a feast for the village lasses. That there'd be venison roast and enough beer to fill a river. And a few days later, they did come and buy a few kegs of beer from me.
Aha. Ooh, Jake
And
Piper?
who is this Jake Piper?
Oh, he's Tom's best mate. A decent fellow. They call him the Piper because everywhere he goes, he's whistling on that pipe of his.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely in the quarry. He lends a hand there to make ends meet.
Did they say anything
Don't
else?
have anything else to say.
Not really. I told him to shut up, or someone would hear him and there'd be trouble.
And what did he say to that?
Nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just hiccuped and slid under the table. Piper took him off after that, thank God.
Could he have done it, maybe?
Suppose he meant it.
Hardly. He's nothing but a braggart.
All right. I'd best ask him myself.
Feel free to ask, but don't believe half what he says.
Interesting. Do you know anything about Hannekin Hare?
Folk were talking about Hannekin Hare.
Oh, good Lord. People do like to prattle on. Don't you go believing a word they say. It's the back of beyond here, and they'll tell any tale to spice things up a bit.
Would like the tale, but so the huntsman isn't up to the job.
Do you think Nicholas isn't doing enough?
A master huntsman who lets poachers run wild through his woods? He's useless. He couldn't even stop them hanging a stag's head on his own house.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks,
innkeeper.
and I'll be
going.
moving. Oh, yeah, we can ask more.
What do you think about
so
all the poaching lately?
poaching. We'll do
What
that.
should I be thinking? If they ever catch them, Sir Divish will have them skinned alive. But for that to happen, our master huntsman would have to be made of sterner stuff.
Yeah, I'll be going.
Thank you, innkeeper. I'll be going.
Take care.
So let's see. Let's visit Thomas and Margaret and Jake Piper. First, let's go to Thomas. So we'll find him at the baths, right? Here he is. In here shortly. Thomas. Thomas? Oh,
Can I do
hi.
anything to help?
Yes, you can. Talk to us.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
What you did last
I'm
summer?
here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
You said in the tavern you were actually going poaching. That's
I heard
why
you
I
were
asked.
yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. That'll do me. I hear there's been
And the
trouble with
poachers?
poachers recently.
Other
I don't have
poachers,
time
I mean.
to talk to strangers. Good day to you. Good luck then.
So that led to nothing. Okay. So we've talked to Thomas. Maybe the other inhabitants of the bathhouse can enlighten us about him. About the poachers.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Olener if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know.
Olina.
Take care.
Oh la la, Olina.
Who's there? Answer me. What's going on out? What in the... May the...
Where's Olina? There's a villager. There's a dead guard. No, he's just sleeping. Where's that Olina?
Hey, there's someone there. Do you...
Yeah, well, what else actually? There's Olina. Okay, okay. I mean, that's kind of cheating, but maybe they told us where she would usually roam.
Good day, Henry.
There's the villager. Are you here, Olina? Hello there. I hear there are
I heard
poachers
there are
here.
poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
It's not just a folk
Has
tale.
anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right, but he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon, but Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods.
She's mad.
they turn into ravens and scatter.
They turn into
Or so she says.
ravens.
But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Very well. I'll ask.
Blacksmith's Berry. Tell me about that hair.
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
How did they find out about his sorcery?
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of them.
Crazy.
And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too. Though I don't know the truth of it.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It was natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see.
The Devil Archer. How did it go with Margaret?
How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean?
What drama?
What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands.
What?
Of course they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story.
But it's interesting. What happened with her then?
Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power.
The devil.
There was a full moon, you see.
Yeah, full moons are crazy. Like you. Did anyone see him do it,
Was
actually?
he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
I'm not so sure.
Probably true.
Anything else I
There
can
is
ask
one
you?
other thing I want to ask.
Oh, who does Hare want revenge on?
Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course.
Yeah.
When the Hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well.
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
And more about Hare?
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so...
We've heard that already. Okay.
Well, I should be going. Thanks for the chat.
Not at all. I always like a good chin wag. Good luck, then.
Interesting, Molina. We have to meet a few other people. Margaret. Thomas, we should ask again. Blacksmith's Betty. We have to look again for Thomas. Nothing much, eh?
Great.
Can you tell me more? No? We'll ask. Have to ask him himself.
What the hell was
Hey there, man.
God be with you.
Again.
I'm here to find out about the poacher.
Well, ask away.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern.
Look here.
I'm
I
sorry,
will,
but
don't you?
we
What?
already had that.
Maybe not. That'll do me. I hear
About the
there's been trouble
poachers.
with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you. God be with you.
Spare your words, man. You're one of the worst, I think.
Hey,
Hey,
what are you doing? Are you after something?
thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. This is Manuel Khan signing out. Have a great time until next time. And happy gaming.